Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a little impromptu review. I just picked up this little set at Ulta yesterday and I thought I would go ahead and grab it and do a video on it because you guys love seeing my Tarte reviews, I feel like, and I do like Tarte. You guys know I just reviewed their Juicy palette and was really loving that one, so I was very curious about this new set they have, and this is a collab. So this is called the Pretty Basic and Tarte little set, and this is in collaboration with ALISHA and REMI, and I have been subscribed to those two girls forever. They are OG YouTubers. I am as well. I never got as popular as they did, of course. They started out like beauty gurus back in the day, and then they kind of went into more lifestyle, and they have a podcast called Pretty Basic. So this is their Pretty Basic set. I did think it was a bit weird because I feel like there was no really talk about this, and then it randomly came out one day, and I just feel like there hasn't been a lot of hype around it, or no one's really been talking about it much or advertising it. So I thought that was kind of weird. I guess this might have gotten pushed back, I think I read, with COVID and everything, because I remember I was watching Alicia's video and they have like different hair color now because they took these pictures a while ago since this got majorly pushed back, I think. But let's get into the products inside this kit. So with this little set, it comes with the Pretty Basic palette, which looks like this. It's just cardboard packaging. And then here is the inside. So in here you get 6 eyeshadows and then a bronzer and a highlighter in here, a couple of mattes and some shimmers mixed in. So that is the little eye and cheek palette. And you also get a mini size of the lights, camera, lashes, mascara included, and a little mini lip gloss. One of their lip sips that's actually from the Sugar Rush line that says Pretty Basic on it. So this whole kit you can get for $35, which I think is a pretty fair price for everything that is included, including the palette. I mean, it is the cardboard packaging, so you're not expecting like super high quality packaging or anything like that. So that's a little bit about the collection. I wanted to read the back. It does say that they teamed up with the lifestyle creators, entrepreneurs, podcast hosts, and BFFs to bring their approachable style and love of neutrals to life in their first ever makeup collaboration. So as you can see, it's called Pretty Basic, so we're expecting some basic colors, of course, and I do love neutral palettes, and I feel like Tarte does such a good job with their neutrals, and they're very beginner friendly. So I can kind of see that this is definitely catered towards their younger audience, I would feel like, but the makeup lover in me and the big supporters I am of ALISHA and REMI, I wanted to try this out. Fun fact, I actually won a giveaway of ALISHA's way back in the day. It was a Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag. I cannot believe it, but yeah, I think I still have that video up. But yeah, I won one of her giveaways, and I've been a subscriber for seriously such a long time. But of course, my makeup reviews are not going to be biased. I'm going to give my 100% honest opinions in this video on what I think about these products from like a makeup enthusiast standpoint. So that's a little bit about the palette. Let's go ahead and do some swatches. So here is swatches of the 6 eyeshadows in the palette. As you can see, they are very neutral colors, a little bit of a smoky vibe to it, but it does have that dark brown that you could build the depth with. And I do like that they chose like a dark brown instead of a black. Here is the highlighter and the bronzer also included in this palette. So that's the swatches of everything. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I did this look, and you'll get kind of my first impressions trying out the eyeshadows. I used pretty much every shade in the palette so I can kind of see how it works. Let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Alright guys, let's test out this palette. I'm just going to apply some eye primer real quick. This is just my alter ego one, and I'm just going to use that so that I can have my eyeshadows lasting. I am going to go in with Daisy, this cream, and just pat that all over the eyelid, right over the primer, just because it does feel a little bit tacky. Sometimes I set my primer and sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends how I'm feeling. So I'm going to go in with Perf here in the middle. The shade is pretty light, but it seems to be buildable, and to me it does feel like the regular Tarte quality. Just kind of a light dusty rose. So I'm just building that up a couple times just to get the pigmentation that I want. Next I'm going to go in with Ring Ring here on the outer corner. So I was going to do 2 looks, but I think I'm going to do 1 today. And just see if I could try out like all the most of the colors. So like this you could easily do if you want a lighter look, and then go in with something just all over the lid. I want to see how deep we can get it with the Chloe shade here in the outer corner. So this definitely does create a nice kind of everyday smoky eye. And you can build a little bit of depth with it, which I was a little bit worried about. I'm taking an even smaller brush and just giving a little bit more smokiness. With that same brush, I'm taking Ring Ring again, and I'm going to use that on the lower lash line. Using my finger, I'm going in with Content Baby Content on the lid. I usually find that Tarte's shimmers work better with a finger, so that's what I'm going to use. This is kind of a fun smoky gold tone. I actually like this shade a lot. And then I'm going to go in with Boy Drama. I'm going to take that on my pinky and just put that right over top and a little bit in the inner portion. So that's the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and clean up with concealer, and I will be right back. Alright, just added my concealer to clean everything up. I went ahead and used my Tarte Shape Tape for this one. Let's go ahead and try out the mascara. This does come with a little mascara in here, the Lights Camera Lashes. I know I've tried this from Tarte before, but I honestly don't remember if I like it or not. I know this is one of their mascaras they've had for years and years, so I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the lashes. I will say this mascara does build up really nicely from Tarte. I feel like Tarte has always had really good mascara formulas. So let's go ahead and try out the other 2 face products in the palette. We have a bronzer in here called Basic. So I'm just going to take somewhat of a smaller brush here and go into the bronzer. Shade-wise, this one is a little bit dark on me. But I think for light, medium skin tones, this would probably work best for. But you can definitely use it if you have fair skin with a light hand, and it seems to build up a little bit as well. But I think overall the color of it is a nice neutral. Alright, this set does not come with a blush, so I am going to grab one from behind me here. I'll go ahead and use Tarte Expose as the blush. This is one of my favorite just everyday neutral ones. And then we'll try the highlighter. I did dip my finger into it a little bit ago just to put a little bit on my inner corners. The Tarte highlighters almost have it's almost a chalkiness to them. This does kind of remind me of their usual highlight formula, like their exposed one. Okay, so here is the lip oil. It's the Pretty Basic, I guess this is the Sugar Rush line from them. And it's their Lip Sip Vegan Lip Oil, which I have tried those before. So these usually don't have a ton of color. So I don't know if I should line. I don't think I'm going to line the lips. I'm going to try and get the foundation off though. And I'll just go ahead and apply this. And we'll see if it changes much color at all, or if it's just going to mostly be clear. Then you can always wear a lip like liner with it. Alright, so here's the look all together. I honestly don't mind the 2 face products they put in. I feel like it actually looks really pretty. I wasn't sure what to expect from those, but obviously the shadows are going to be very natural. So let's go ahead and get into my final thoughts here. So now I want to kind of get into my final thoughts of the collection. I think it is important with Tarte to keep in mind that they do cater towards the everyday person that's doing their makeup, more neutral lovers. They're very beginner friendly eyeshadows, which is something I do love about them. So do keep that in mind with these things. This collection might be boring to some, but I wanted to go ahead and review it for those that are interested in this and maybe could see this being an everyday palette for them, because let's be honest, at least me and my collection, I use my neutral palettes the most out of everything for my day-to-day life, especially with photo shoots. You guys know I work for a clothing company, so I model for them, so I'm always doing neutral looks for photo shoots. So that's always what I'm using the most in my collection, and although I do like having some days I want to do really fun color, and I love having that in my collection too. There is an audience that does like these everyday neutral type of shades. Now, these are very, I would say, medium to light tone. You can't build a ton of depth. This is probably as deep as you're gonna get with the palette. It's just very natural, everyday type of makeup. Formula wise, I do feel like it's pretty similar to the regular Tarte quality, but maybe just a little bit lower. They did have, I feel like, a cheaper price than usual for this, even though it is a smaller palette, but I don't think it's like their top quality, like their Juicy palette. I absolutely love the Juicy palette. I think this is a little bit of a step down, but it still worked really nice. You guys could see how the shadows blended out on me. I thought they blended nice, and it's nice with these darker shades that they start out pretty light, so you don't go overboard with the look, and it's easy to blend out. So I do like that about Tarte's mattes. The shimmers in here, they're not going to be like super sparkly. They're more of a satin finish, as you guys could see on the eyes. You're not going to get a ton of metallic type of look with these in the palette. They're just more of a satin finish, but overall I think the look that we did today is very pretty, but I feel like this is the look I'm going to get out of using this most of the time. I don't think there's a lot that you can do with it. So if you're looking for something that's more versatile, this probably isn't for you, but if you want something that's just going to be your everyday go-to, then you may enjoy this shade. If you kind of like this type of look, you can even make this one a little bit lighter. What's nice with this one as well, it does have the bronzer and highlight. Of course, it's kind of hard since there is so many different skin tones out there in this world to pick that for the palette, and because it obviously is not going to work for everyone. I feel like the highlight for the most part will, but the bronzer, of course, is going to be a little hard to work for everyone. It did work okay for me. I feel like it was a really pretty shade. I enjoy it. I did also want to mention, since Tarte does sometimes with like their holiday collections, they make stuff outside the USA, but this palette is made in USA. My thoughts on this palette, I'm probably going to keep it in my collection, and I will use it just for neutral smoky looks like this. It's definitely going to be more for the beginner friendly type of makeup, which I could totally see that, since ALISHA and REMI do have a younger audience, maybe just getting into makeup. I mean, I know they're trying to branch their channels out a bit more and get more of their age, I feel like, but I know from the beginning they kind of started out with the younger crowd. So yeah, I feel like this is great if you guys are getting started in makeup. It comes with a whole little set, so you get a lot of stuff, but also if you're pretty basic with your makeup and just want to do light everyday type of looks and get a little bit of a cooler tone, this is nice. So if you guys are wondering too, if this is dupable within the Juicy palette, because I know a lot of you guys were wondering about that, I would say the Juicy palette, the neutrals in there are definitely more warm toned. This one's definitely a lot more cool tone, so I do feel like it is different. For instance, if you guys have Natasha Denona Glam, that's going to be very similar to this. Even a little bit of the Sydney Grace Enduring Love palette. I'm thinking maybe even the Juvia's Place Taupes palette. You're going to kind of get that similar colors. Obviously, these are dupable shades, so if this is something that interests you, I'll have the link down below if you guys want to pick this up as well. It is in stores. As I mentioned, I picked mine up in stores at Ulta. I don't know if some stores may be sold out or not, but that's kind of my thoughts on this collection. Of course, you do get the mascara and the lip oil as a little extra, so I do feel like the price is pretty good for what you get in here, a little bit of everything. But that is going to be it for my kind of thoughts and review on the pretty basic Tarte collection. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.